Welcome back! We are here for another Marvel Crisis Protocol Crusades. Today we have the X-Force taking on the Spider Foes. The X-Force composed of Cable, Bob, Agent of Hydra, Deadpool, and Sabretooth. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe as it helps a lot. Remember, this is a non-monetized channel, so that motivation is all I get. They'll be up against the Spider Foes with Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Venom, and Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Today's mission will be Struggle for the Cube continues and Sword establishes on Moon's blue area. This is a 14-threat game with 3 consoles that the teams will be vying over and 5 Cosmic Cube fragments. Today's battle, the X-Force will be using Exceptional Healing, Pretty Sneaky Sis, Dirty Work, Patch Up, and Chimichangas. The Spider Web Warriors will be using All Webbed Up, Patch Up, 1-2 Punch, Sucker, and Inspiring Monologue. And we have today's board with the Web Warriors on the right and the X-Force on the left, with all the objectives all over. First up is going to be Miles. First thing he's going to do is move, followed by picking up the Cosmic Cube and then moving again to put him within range of the computer station. Next up will be Cable. Thanks to Techno-Organic Virus Suppression, he will have 2 power, which will allow him to make a move. Then he'll make a second move, putting him up onto the building with the objectives. He'll pick up the Cosmic Shard and he will activate the computer. Alright, next up is Venom, and he is going to use his first activation to move. He is then going to use his second activation to move, and then he will spend 1 power in an effort to get the Sword computer to switch over to his team. He is not successful. Next up is Agent Bob. He's going to move his full medium. Then he's going to move small to climb up the building. He'll then pay 1 to pick up the Cosmic Cube piece. Spider-Man will be up next. He's going to use his first activation to move, pay 1 to pick up the Cosmic Cube fragment, check for range. Unfortunately, Cable is out of reach, so is Bob. So then he's just going to move again to assist Venom in dealing with Cable. Next up we have Deadpool. His first activation is going to be to move, spend 1 power to pick up the cube, then he'll target Miles. He's going to check to see if he's in stabbing range. Deadpool will use the bang attack against Spider-Man. He is successful a total of 3 times. Miles will roll his defense. Miles is successful a total with Web Warriors of 3 times. Next up is Sabretooth. He's going to move, then he's going to move again, activate the computer token, and turn it over to the X-Force side. Next up is the Ghost Spider, Gwen, and she is going to move, and then she is going to move again and attempt to turn the computer over to the Web Warriors. She is successful. Alright, at the beginning of round 2, the X-Force and the Web Warriors are tied at 2 points each. 1 computer is controlled by the Web Warriors, 1 computer is controlled by the X-Force, and 1 computer remains unclaimed. That leads us into the second round. A quick look at the board, as well as a quick look at the characters as they stand currently. Next up will be Cable, and the first thing he will do is activate the tactic card Dirty Work for the X-Force, targeting Venom. If they're able to subdue Venom in this turn, each member of the X-Force will gain 2 energy. He starts with a plasma rifle shot into Venom. He rolls 5 dice. He is successful a total of 2 times. Venom rolls his 2 defense, is successful 1 time. Cable's player thought he gained Incinerate, but he actually shouldn't have. He then fires the plasma rifle again, this time scoring 3 hits. He has a total of 30 hits. Venom rolls his reduced defense, He is successful one time and takes a total of 2 more damage. Venom will start the turn with symbiote tendrils aiming at Cable. He is successful twice. Cable will roll his defense. Cable is successful twice and takes no damage. Next up, Venom will use We Are Venom. This time he is successful a total of 2 times. Then Cable will roll his defense. He is going to use Telekinetic Shield. He is successful a total of 3 times, taking no damage. Deadpool rolls Bang against Venom. He is successful a total of 4 times. His last of the 4 is a failure, so he cannot re-roll it from his X-Force affiliation. Venom will then roll his reduced defense. He is successful 1 time. He gets to change one of them automatically over to a success because he has cover, reducing the damage from 4 to 2 and taking. Deadpool will then activate again using Bang again, trying to finish Venom off to earn that Dirty Work card. He is successful a total of 3 times. He does get to reroll 1 because of the X-Force affiliation. It is not successful, so he has 3 successes. Venom will roll his reduced defense. He is successful 1 time, plus 1 automatic switchover from cover means he still takes enough damage to be dazed. This does activate the X-Force card Dirty Works and gives every member of the X-Force team 2 additional power. Next up will be Miles Morales. The first thing he'll do is spend 1 energy to take the computer token. He will use Webline Kick against Deadpool. He is successful 1 time. Deadpool rolls his defense and is successful 1 time, taking no damage. Then Miles will try Webline Kick again. Deadpool will roll 3 successes. Deadpool will roll his defense, and with 1 reroll from I Know Karate, he is successful 3 times and takes no damage. Alright, next up is Bob, Agent of Hydra, and he is going to use excessive violence aiming at Ghost Spider. He is going to be successful a total of, after his X-Force reroll, of 3 times. Not the best. Before damage is dealt, we will calculate everyone within 2 taking 2 damage from excessive violence. Gwen is within 2, so she will take 2 damage immediately. At 2, Gwen will roll her defense with great responsibility. She is successful 1 time, reducing the damage from 3 to 2 and taking a total of 4 damage this turn. Next, Bob will get pushed back short from the effects of excessive violence and become dazed. Once he becomes dazed, he will lose control of the token, which will be put within 2 by the Web Warrior player. Next up, Gwen will activate. Ghost Spider will start the turn by using all webbed up, aiming for Sabretooth. She'll then use impact webbing on Sabretooth with an additional 2 dice thanks to all webbed up. She is successful a total of 2 times. Sabretooth will roll his defense. He is successful 0 times and takes 2 damage. He will respond with Untamed Fury, starting out by moving small towards Ghost Spider and doing a claw slash. Sabretooth is successful a total of 4 times, including a wild. Spider rolls her defense. She rerolls 1 from Great Responsibility. She is successful 0 times, takes 4 damage, and is dazed. Sabretooth will be up next, and his first activation will be to spend 1 power to flip the computer. Then Sabretooth will move, put himself within distance of the token. He will pay 1 to pick the token up, and then he will move back to his original position. Next up will be Spider-Man. His first activation will be to move closer to the objective computer so he can activate it. He will try to activate it. He gets a shield and does not. Spider-Man is successful a total of 3 times. Cable will then roll his defense of 3. He is successful 0 times and takes 3 damage. Beginning of round 3. This is where we stand. We make a quick correction. The X-Force should have scored 3 points last turn, not 2. With their points from the computers and their points from the tokens, they are now sitting comfortably at 9. The Web Warriors are a little behind at 4. This is how our board looks currently. And of course, how the characters are sitting now. Alright, next up will be Cable, and he will be unleashing Ascani's son. Both Venom and Spider-Man are within range. First, rolling Spider-Man. Weapon X reroll. Cable is successful a total of 2 times. Spider-Man will roll his Mystic Defense. He is successful a total of 2 times as well and takes no damage. Next up, we're going to roll the attack against Venom. He is successful a total of 5 times. Venom will roll his 3 Mystic Defense. And is successful a total of 2 times for a total of 3 damage from this attack. Cable will regain 3 life. Venom then interrupts with so many snacks to use We Are Venom, aiming at Cable. Cable will respond with Telekinetic Shield. Venom rolls his attack and is successful 1 time. Cable will roll his defense with his Telekinetic Shield up. Cable has more than 1 success, completely negating the damage that Venom would have done. Cable's second activation, he will use Plasma Rifle, aiming at Venom. This time he is successful 3 times. Venom is successful no times. He will use the Web Warrior reroll. Unfortunately, that is also a failure. This makes enough damage to kill Venom, removing him from the game. Next up will be the Ghost Spider. She's going to use Freestyle Beatdown against Sabretooth. She will roll. She is successful a total of 4 times. Sabretooth will roll his defense. He is successful 2 times and takes 3 damage. The secondary effect of Beatdown will cause him to be thrown into the container, where he will take another damage, enough to daze him. After being dazed, Sabretooth will drop his token. Gwen will spend 1 energy to pick said token up. Next up is Miles. First thing he will do is check his range, move, and then he will use Venom Blast on Cable. He will roll. He is successful a grand total of 7 times. Cable, not having enough energy to have used Telekinetic Shield, has to roll his base defense, and he will drop his token. Cable is successful a total of 2 times and takes 5 damage. With Cable dazed, Miles will pay 1 to pick up the token and end his turn. Correction, Miles was not able to pick up the token. He already had 1, so we put the token within 2 but closer to Spider-Man. Next up is Bob, Agent of Hydra. His first activation will be to move. His second activation will be to shoot Ghost Spider with the Hydra pistol. He is successful a total of 4 times. Gwen will roll her defense, rerolling 1 for Web Warriors. Ghost Spider will roll her defense. Then she'll reroll for Web Warrior. Rerolling 1 for Web Warrior. She is unable to turn any additional over and will take 2 damage. The energy gained from this pistol shot will give Bob enough to purchase a loaded token. Alright, next up is Deadpool, aiming at Miles with the Bang attack. 1 reroll because of the X-Force Alliance. He also got 1 wild and 1 critical. He has 4 total. Miles will roll his 3 defense. He'll reroll 1 from Web Warrior, and then he will reroll 2 from his Spider Sense. for a total of 2, making him take 2 damage. Like he should have hit Bang Bang there, but I think that the X-Force player missed it in the game, so he did not do it. He will use Merc with a Mouth to take 2 energy away from Miles. He will also then move to claim the now vacant computer. Will also heal. Finally, for the Web Warriors, it is Spider-Man. His first activation, his first power is going to be spent claiming the computer for the Web Warriors team. Spider-Man is going to utilize his crazy long movement and actually maneuver himself to within range of the other computer and claim it for the Web Warriors as well. We apologize, the scene is missing, but the score is currently X-Force 9, Web Warriors 10. This is the cards as they stand. The X-Force will play pretty sneaky sis, making so everyone that wants to attack them will have to be within 2. Sabretooth, Cable, and Deadpool will each pay 2 for this ability, and they will have it at the start of this turn. Next up will be Deadpool. He'll be targeting Miles with Bang. He is successful a total of 4 times with a reroll from his X-Force affiliation. He is successful a total of 4 times. Miles will roll his defense. He is successful a total of 2 times. He will Web Warrior roll. He is successful a total of 3 times, taking 1 damage. It is at this point that we realize that Miles actually should have been stunned at the end of last turn and dropped his objective. So we're going to go ahead and put his objective where it should have been, and then have him start out on his wounded side as he's taking this damage. Deadpool will then attack again using Bang. He is successful a total of 4 times. Miles will roll his defense. He will reroll from Spider Sense. He will then reroll from Web Warrior. He takes a total of 3 damage. This also triggers the Bang Bang, so Deadpool will fire again. He has a total of 4 successes. Miles will roll his defense, and then roll his Web Warrior, and roll his Spider Sense. He is successful 2 times, taking 2 more damage. That will be enough to finish Miles completely off, removing him from the game. Deadpool will also recover 2 health from Healing Factor. Ghost Spider activates next, and her first activation will be to use Freestyle Beatdown, aiming for Sabretooth. She is successful a total of 5 times. Sabretooth will roll his defense. He is successful a total of 2 times, taking 3 damage. The completion of the Freestyle Beatdown includes that he is thrown into the crate, taking another damage. Sabretooth will respond using Untamed Force for a Claw Strike. He rolls and is successful a total of 3 times. Ghost Spider will use her defense. She is successful 3 times off the bat and does no damage. Then Gwen, so Ghost Spider, will use Freestyle Beatdown again. This time she is successful a total of 4 times. Sabretooth will roll to defend. He is successful a total of 1 time, taking 3 damage, plus being thrown into the crate again for a total of 4 damage. And that is enough to completely remove Sabretooth. Next up will be Bob. The first thing he is going to do is he is going to make a move, putting himself right next to Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man. Ghost Spider and Spider-Man. He is then going to spend his loaded token and use Excessive Violence, targeting Spider-Man. He rolls a total of 6 with his reroll from the X-Force affiliation. He turns it over into 7. Spider-Man rolls his defense. He will reroll from Spider's Sense, and then reroll again from Great Responsibility. He is able to stop 1, 6 get through. And before that, Bob deals 2 damage to Ghost Spider, enough to kill her. 2 damage to Spider-Man, guaranteeing his stunning, and stunning Bob himself, and he loses 3 energy. Of course, everyone will drop their tokens. Cable, he will spend 1 to turn the computer back to the X-Force team. He will also spend 1 to pick up a token, and then move himself. It was at this point that it was clear that there was no way for the Web Warriors to win, down to just Spider-Man, and there being no way for them to earn enough points to turn it around. The X-Force is declared the winner. Going into round 4, this score would have been 15 to 10 with just Spider-Man on the board. Unfortunately, there's no way to turn that around. The X-Force are declared. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you enjoyed today's battle. As always, if you see anything that we got wrong that we didn't already admit we got wrong, please leave it in the comments. If you'd like to subscribe and or like the video, that helps a ton. You can reach us on Facebook at the links below in the description. Thank you and have a fantastic rest of your day.